Here's the first strat from North. Honestly, from North, I don't think there is a lot of options to do if the enemy team open 9-0. Um, it's not really much you can do about it because I think it's from South. If they take 9-0 off you and you are passive, I think they will dominate you if they have an intelligent FC. And yeah, so this tactic is quite a simple one. It's just YOLOing 9-0, 1-2, sorry, but it has, I mean, a few nuances. Firstly, you're going like this with I7s and then swinging down and into the gully. Meanwhile, the CS is pushing off the EBR from this, just so the EBR cannot spot. Like you're driving like this, so the EBR, if he peaks wide or like goes high, he will not see you crossing. Um, so yeah, like if you cross like this to 1-2, the EBR will always spot you. So going like this, you shouldn't really be spotted. That's the idea anyway. And the CS is meant to be, pushing away the EBR. So EBR cannot keep on doing runs here. So you will probably be spotted here if they drive a fast tank to here, but if they don't see you by the time you're here, you're peeking out like here and just driving, which is quite nice for you. However, um, yeah, they will see your lineup and think you are pushing either 1-2 or 9-0 straight. So it's just kind of a 50-50. You could do, if you want, you can bring double I7 out and push them 9-0 instead, because the idea would be the enemy EBR does a run on their ridge, sees double I7 coming, thinks it's all the I7s, and then tells his commander they're all pushing 9-0. So then they rotate more to 1-2 or 9-0, and then you can push this out a lot easier. Yeah, that's kind of just up to you if you want to do that and trying to fake out your enemy or the enemy FC. But sometimes it doesn't work. If you do put double I7 here and the EBR does a run here, sees their whole team coming, you have two choices of either going under the bridge to here and maybe even further, or you run away all the way back to here. Your choice. Yeah, obviously you have E5s. They can be 60Ps. I just prefer E5s because they have better sniping capabilities for shooting the K line. They either sit here or they go to the next ridge here to shoot. If for some reason they are not pushing out the 9-0, you can go here to have better shots. But normally they will take 9-0, and if you're here, they might come around like this and redump you, but it's up to you, really. Yeah, it's pretty simple. The next thing would be like how to push out K line. With 8 tanks, like you should be fine. You're normally sending like if there's a guy in K1, you send 3 for him. The rest of them can play here, and then yeah, you're just fighting on K line. Pretty simple stuff. Like from this, you can maybe have some shots here, but eventually you will need to dump into this dip to then start killing this. If they go here, normally the E5s from this ridge line should be able to shoot them. So you kind of just wait for them to die, and then you can push in. If they're sitting back here, which they should be, then you can dump in with a few tanks and try and kill this guy on the rock, and if there's anyone else in mid. Yeah, that's it. I mean, obviously the enemy team will not just sit there. If they do, then hopefully you should win, but normally their reaction if they're opening 9-0 would be to come back with a few tanks to here to punish your cross to 1-2, and then dump into this E5 group and kind of just leave these guys on K line to hold for as long as they can while probably pushing this and like this. This 260 is here to basically kind of stop that in a way. He's just kind of here to stop the outside play in any way because he has a little hold down here, so he can kind of shoot out of it. And if they're not doing this, he can just shoot people that have gone here. So quite helpful. Pretty simple strat. Yeah, it's up to you if you want to use double I7 on the 9-0 to kind of fake them out. But yeah. If they are camping, um, I would change my approach. If you think they're gonna camp, I would not do this full 1-2. Like if they're gonna do a camp with like just basically that, and maybe a guy here, I would not push 9-0. I want to. Sorry, I would push 9-0 to break that kind of camp. You probably want to do probably something like this. Let's say a CS here, and then you're pushing 9-0. And then you're pushing out 9-0. Like, you kind of want to do this straight if it is a camp. If you think of that camping, then I would do this opener instead. And you're just saying, no pussy, your E5s are just driving like this straight to here. Your I7 is driving straight to here. The CS is obviously doing the spot still, and then probably going to castle to then shoot the people here or here. You could probably, actually, you should probably put them back here, really. Actually, you can probably do this as an opener instead, actually. So you have some decent heat pen for the anything here, and a better gun for sniping, K-line and mid. You have the CS at the back here to provide shots if they try and dump in behind the E5s. And yeah, you're just pushing this out. Pretty simple. You're just driving like this. If there's a guy here, you kill him. If there's a guy here, you dump him with probably like 3 and then keep on pushing with the rest. Just try not to get stuck killing this guy. You just kill him, keep on moving on, and then just keep on driving. As soon as you get to here, you should be kind of okay. As long as your E5s are kind of safe, you can kind of kill this dip over time and then dump into it, kill it, and then if they haven't pushed castle or done anything, then you should be able to win that. So that's it for strat 1 from North. Right, next strat is kind of a 9-0 push of opener. Yeah, you're just pushing 9-0 with the rest of your team. You have double E5 back here in the start. And then they can pressure up, obviously, to here. But that's kind of, the hope. The 260 is here in the beginning. If the CS sees like nothing coming aggressively into 1-2, this 260 can then take the castle. I wouldn't take the castle instantly because they might be playing some like mid thing and he just dies on this cross. So yeah, just keep him A1 and then he can pressure up and start shooting this ridge and this ridge. Like these double 260s are here to then kill this guy. That's pretty simple. I mean, they go through the water and then jump up and then go to this house. I'm pretty sure it's this house. And he should be safe from most things. I think there is an angle, like maybe like here or somewhere. I can't remember exactly. I haven't really tested the strat much. But yeah, they just kill this. If this 260 is gonna die, he just makes a hold down. This 260 keeps on farming. The 3 I7s, if there's a guy in F1, they just dump him over. The BDs are pushing the 60GPs. You can, if you want, just replace all these 4 tanks with I7s. Perfectly fine. I just want a bit more meat for if they're playing 9-0 themselves. That's where the strat kind of is complicated, because they just have much better positions to hold. If they're like playing 9-0 with equal numbers or probably 2 less, they probably can hold your push. So what do we have? We have 9, I think. Yeah, 8. I think, yeah, 9. So if they have 7, or maybe 6, they might be able to hold it. It depends on where they are. If you can pick up a guy here and stuff, you might be okay. But you probably, if they're all like here, you probably just dump with your whole team into this. These 260s come behind. These double E5 can come to here, and you start killing them here. It becomes more difficult if they've put many people here and they've stopped in the houses. Then yeah, problem. You might want to just get an I7 to here if possible, and then keep, I don't know, double 60p here, and then rotate out with something else, and then pressure maybe this or something. But yeah, this strat is quite hard if they play 9-0 off opener. Obviously, like you can run away from it and maybe take the castle off them. But I just think it's just very hard to do because they will just take this position and this position, or one of the two, see this cross now. If you rotate it out fully, they'll just send tanks to here. They'll know you're pushing 9-0 or 1-2. Even they might have an EBR here, even if they have castle control. So now they see this rotation. So yeah, good luck, really. If you can take castle off of it, if you can take castle like this, like these two ridges, then maybe you're okay. Well, like leaving like someone in A8 maybe. But yeah, it becomes very difficult to play North Redshire as soon as they get 9-0 control. So yeah, quite hard to do. I would honestly just push 1-2 like every time with the strat I showed you previously. If it's the second battle, obviously it becomes a bit more complicated because obviously you don't want to do the same exact thing again because it probably won't work or they'll be ready for it. But yeah, it's difficult for sure. This map, you don't have many options. Right, here is a replay from North. I think this is Shark leading because I'm in an ABR. Yeah, it should be. He is opening again. Oh, yeah, found the enemy team. He's opening 1-2. I have Agnes ABR. I spot only 2 tanks coming, so I know that they're probably camping. Probably, because it's kind of weird that they're only sending 2. Because I'm definitely not contesting castles, so what are they gonna do? And I do this run to make sure that there is nothing coming, and there isn't. So just 2 tanks on it for now. So they must be probably camping. Yeah, killing their light tank very early onto the game. It's also very nice. So yeah, now we have quite a big advantage with their EBR being dead. So yeah, we can take kind of better positions here. I take a pretty nice bush, I would say. I need to get spotted there because I don't slow down enough. But yeah. Anyway, like in the meantime, obviously we've taken castle control and mid and everything, really. So now is the time of deciding what side you want to push. Normally, in these kind of sort of camps, you are normally pushing 9-0, but you could maybe think about pushing 1-2, maybe here, but I think 9-0 is the better choice. I could have killed the ZBR, but I just didn't trust myself to hit it, so I didn't fire. Technically, you'll see a bit later, but maybe it was worth it to fire because I think it does cost us an EBR for it. But as you can see, we're trying to kill this guy here, but from here, but it's not really possible. Firing HE, but yeah, that will not kill a 60p. Things see that EBR, clear their EBR. So unfortunate. Now I take his position. Now I spot rotations on the K line here. And you could say this is bad timing because I think they push 9-0 off of this, which is quite unfortunate. Yeah, we're getting ready to push 1-2 here. I think it's because Shark knows that there is a decent amount on 9-0 because he spotted these settings go away. The bar, please. Yeah, I can't show it, but there was like 2 things spotted on K line. There's probably going to be more on 9-0. So he thinks pushing 1-2 was the play, and to be fair, it was. I probably would have pushed into that, but oh well. So yeah, now it's a lot easier because they've left a lot of tanks out, so now we can kind of catch the things that are on K line. So yeah, obviously we push into it. Repushing 9-0 would be awful. So yeah, pushing 1-2 is just so much better here. And obviously, they do have a guy 279 on that house that I was on about that is punishing us, but hopefully we get out of the way soon. Obviously, I see them coming with my EBR bush. I need to leave, obviously, because if I stay, I will get caught. I'm not going to live here because the I7 sucks. We catch everything on K-line here. It is obviously a bit of a close game here because they still equal guns. Health is down, but because they've all pushed into this bit, we have double I7 behind them now, farming them. And we have the E5 on top as well, farming. So they've kind of pushed into a crossfire. That's what I was on about with having a guy in H2. He's a very annoying guy to try and kill. And if you want to do this play to try and kill the people on the ridge, he kind of counters that. Catch up by me, but yeah. I would say it's like a pretty easy game. If they didn't push across, they would lose K-line, and then it'd just be split map. But we'd be like 3 guns up, I think. So it would still be a loss for them. Probably just a bit more slowly, I guess. But yeah, pretty nice game, I would say. Not really much to talk about now. Just clean up. This I7 has lived for a bloody long time now. Yeah. Game over. GG. Right, here is a second replay from North. This is my kind of YOLO kind of strat. As you can see, the I7s are going this way to hopefully not be spotted by the EBR. The enemy team this time only had 1 EBR, so they don't see this coming at all, which is obviously quite nice. My EBR sees 5, so I think that's enough to keep on pushing 1-2 here. They also are pushing 9-0 here, but yeah, obviously I have to tell, because they're full pushing 9-0 straight, I obviously don't need that many E5s to cover. But yeah, we just keep on sending enough 1-2 to hopefully win the K line, but need like 1 tank to cover it to provide crossfire, obviously, and the rest have come back to make sure they don't keep on pushing all the way. I could say, like, now I should probably realize that they're not pushing our base, so I now turn myself. I have turned my I turned the other E5 around as well. Obviously they didn't think it was kind of weird. They don't really push that out. I find it's very weird. I guess they just thought our team was going to be set up, but surely they see the I7s. But I don't know. But they decide to try and go back to their base. Like if I had a guy here, this in this dip in D6, D7, he would be probably shooting this guy right now. But yeah, as you can see, Chris obviously lost 2k health going in. Maybe Sav lost a bit as well. But then had to go over into these double TPs, so he lost more health. But yeah, as I'm finding out, they are rotating. I think it's either this stirve position does spot this. So I don't know if this stirve spotted it, but normally you can spot it from that location in an EBR at least, as well as probably an E5 or 60TP. But maybe the EBR also saw them. Yeah, I should have been probably faster repushing 9-0, really. It was kind of obvious that they were rotating back, but you live and you learn, I guess. But yeah, it is a bit of a problem now because we are going to get caught on K-line. Maybe I should have said just to try and run away from it or go back a ridge. But yeah, this is why you kind of put tanks here for this crossfire. For some reason they're just sitting here. I guess they can't push in because they don't have the health, but they need more tanks to do it. my 60p is hitting shots. So yeah. I don't know, it's quite weird that they haven't got some more tanks there and they're not willing to push, but I guess we are providing just enough shots, and that's insane that I'm hitting these shots in 60p. But yeah, like they've delayed it so long that we've kind of just caught them here and they can't move. Luckily, most of our eyes, I think like 3 of them are still healthy, which is obviously quite nice. Insane that I'm hitting these shells. I have like what? I mean, I have this guy healthy, and another guy I think that's kind of healthy. So, but obviously Chris staying back here, providing crossfire as well, probably made them think about repushing as well. But yeah, they've pulled so much out that I've also been able to push out 9-0 a little bit. But yeah, like, as you can see, if they were quicker on this rotate, and like maybe if I wasn't in time to put this crossfire up, that they probably would have been able to catch my K line. But yeah. So again, like I think I did the 2 tanks on 9-0 at the beginning, which obviously still works, but you can also just bring the double more I7 to 1-2 to push it. If I did this game, I think I win a lot harder because I have less tanks kind of locked here. But it's kind of nice to be able to kind of bait the opponent that you're coming 9-0 so they stay on 9-0. But if their EBR is good and tells the enemy FC that I only saw C2, then you know, it defeats the purpose. But yeah, a pretty good victory, I would say. And because I've seen these 260s, they're probably not camping, so that's why you can kind of push 1-2 off opener. If these 260s were 60 TPs, I would not push 1-2 straight. I would have taken like I don't know, like 2 tanks castle in the beginning and the rest 9-0, something like this. All of my other strat are pushing 9-0 straight. Like I think I showed it in the strat, but yeah. Pretty simple strat. This is the advance if you want to see it with comms. Yeah, we'll just go into South strats, I think, is next. Right, here is the first strat from South. It's a pretty simple strat. You're just pushing 9-0 with 660 TPs. And the idea is if your EBR sees them coming, obviously you set up defensively, so I don't know, let's say just like 3 here. Maybe if ideally you could get like 2 in the houses and then maybe you put 1 here. And then you rotate probably like double E5 over, maybe the whole re2. Then you push out castle with 279. Double E5 comes to mid. And yeah, if they keep on pushing this, then hopefully they meet their death because you have what, 9? Counting's hard 5. Yeah, 9. And if they have guys here, the 279 should kind of counter them, and then you can maybe start peeking on them with these 3 tanks. I mean, you can even go to like here to start peeking them, so you're not shot from here. So hopefully they can't push 9-0. So that's kind of it. If they push 9-0, can't really do much else if they push it straight. Obviously, if they do it slow, or they rotate out after seeing these tanks, obviously just put a guy here, and then you probably just take a castle to here at least. Your EBR comes out to come. He probably comes to the mid ridge to then spot this rotation. And then you're kind of chilling. Like after you get your EBR into, I think it's these bushes here. You now spot this rotation. They can no longer leave, hopefully. And yeah, you're kind of chilling. So like it'd be, I don't know, something like, let's say this. And then you probably do something like this, probably. And these guys should go back like this. These guys can be shot from here, but hopefully your EBR has spotted this, so you can cross this safe. And yeah, again, you probably just take the mid ridge with this tanks, something like this. And now hopefully that all that tanks are trapped here. If you have the EBR timing, he's doing circles here and then he just goes to here. If they're all left, obviously, if they have a guy here, then you probably can't do this with EBR. Actually, technically the best thing would be sending this 279 to here, because on this house you can kind of angle up and just spot this rotation for you, and your EBR can maybe drive to here and spot it instead. So yeah. And then, like, if they're trapped here, then you probably just take the city castle control. You kill the people here. They can either repush this side, in which case you just reinforce it, and then they die. If they've kept some tanks here, I would bring your whole team and push it out. If, I don't know, they have a guy here on this little rock here. They have two guys at the back or something like this. Like, I would literally bring all these guys. My Hori comes to here. I don't know. Probably my 60 comes. 279 can just stay in the castle. And then, I don't know. We probably bring double E5 to here or something. Or maybe here is fine. And yeah, the idea would be just to push it, basically. There's nothing really like special about it. You just go push. You bring 3 tanks to here. So you can punish them if they repush or if they do any funny peaks. You are then just pushing with the rest of your team over into this to kill this guy and people here. As soon as you get this, hopefully they're in crossfires when they push. You leave, I don't know, 1 or 2 guys back here, so you have like 3-way crossfire. Hopefully your EBR has somehow got to here and is spotting, like, if they try and reinforce from C4, C5, the E5 will then punish. If they try and retake castles, 279 is here, and if they try and repush this, he just goes to the back. Double E5 here, or he can either run to K line or stay here, and you kill all these tanks here, and then you just need to come back to like this with a few tanks and hold them, pushing 1-2. Yeah, that's kind of it for this strat. Did I go over if they push 1, 2? Oh, shit. Okay, this is it, yeah. 15 tanks, yeah. Right. If they push 1-2 off opener, this is why, if you're not confident with your 1 EBR, I would just minus an E5 for another tank to go here to spot it. I just think 1 EBR is fine, because as soon as I don't see anything on 9-0, I will just instantly rotate. As well, these 680Ps can be IS7s, or maybe like 3 of them, just so you have some speed to rotate. After you get used to it, you can, I think, bring 60Ps because you should be always fast enough to do it. But yeah, if the EBR just does this run, sees nothing coming, again, you would just leave like 2 on this flank. I don't know, like 1 here, 1 here. 4 TPs come back to here. This 279 comes back. You then punish that cross on 1-2. You have 6 on K line. Good luck pushing this. This 60p can kind of counter people here and here. This 60p watches his back. This EBR can also just spot stuff. As soon as you punish this cross with all 6 of you, and these, so you have like literally, you have 12 people punishing this cross. Hopefully they can't really do that, or they bleed so heavily that, then you just go back into. If you think you can win the fight, then you fight on this ridge. If not, you can just chill back here, trade off the 279, and just hold here with 5 tanks. While you then push on this to kill it, so that these people are kind of safe, and they can't really be killed from anywhere. You kill this group, you can then start shooting them kind of back if they're here, and you should hopefully win the game. Nothing really that hard. If the enemy team is doing a camp of the castle, this and this. This is a pretty simple break. Again, you're just leaving 2 here on this flank. You're rotating. I mean, you're basically doing the reaction that I said last time. But you're probably taking all these tanks K-line. Actually, you probably leave like 4 here. Yeah, 4. You then bring the rest of your team to the castle. You can't even bring the Hori, really. Honestly, I think the Hori is fine. Honestly, you probably want to bring like 1 more. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do this actually. There we go. Right. This Hori can either be here or you can bring in a castle. I'm gonna bring in castle. And yeah, so I'll just show you what I mean by like the camp of the castle. You're normally doing, that's not red. Come on. That like that much. Like 2 here, 1 here, or 2 here. Maybe an EBR here. Like 60 GP here and here. 1 more. Yeah, there's 30, right? So the idea is you're just stacking city, or castle, sorry, with a lot. This guy doesn't even need to be here. You can just put him back here, but it's up to you, or up to the enemy, I guess. If they are, then you're pushing in to the castle. You're probably pushing like here to here. If you have any low health, they stay back here. But let's just say we put an E5 there for this. I mean, probably the Ori is actually the best for this because he can cover this entire rail pretty well. And yeah, you're just pushing into castle. If there's a guy here, you kill him. Afterwards, you can kind of peek on this angle a little bit, and just start kind of trading against them. These, if they have anything on D1, you just do what I said in the like this position guide, whatever the fuck. You just go here with 3 tanks and you kill the outside. Hopefully, you have a 60p covering, and you're kind of chilling from there. And like that's kind of the camp break for like the castle holds. This guy can also be killed, I think. So you just drive up to here with double E5 and he should be killed. And then you just kind of hopefully kill this over time. With your E5s having good pen so they can deal with 279s and more DPM than a 60p, so you should be fine. Yeah, that's it for that strat. Right, next is a castle strat. I have not gone castle on Redshire in about 2 years, maybe 3. Not, I mean, mostly because I just don't play on it a lot. Really, most people don't really pick Redshire because, well, it's just kind of shit to pick as your bridgehead. Because if you get north, you're most likely to lose. If you get south, you're likely to win. So I don't know if you want that like 50-50 decision, really. You kind of want consistency and easier maps to defend, or you pick whatever maps you want to practice for advances. But yeah, pretty simple. Is you're boosting with BZ straight to here to try and punish any cross here. You're bringing double 279 being pushed by 260s like straight across to here and into the castle. If they're going full castle, then hopefully the BZ's pressure them off. You can bring a double E5 straight away. These double 260s are just here to kind of like, if they try and drive or like come on the outside to try and peek on these BZs, they get shot, basically. Also, just giving some 9-0 control for if they don't come 9-0, guy here, EBR here, simple as, right? And then they can run away. If they come full 9-0, you can kind of just run away with the 260s back to either here. I mean, you can go back to here if you are, thinking that they won't keep on pushing. But yeah, the normal idea would be if they push 1-2, you punish and then you just go fight for castle control and hopefully catch them kind of caught in this dip. If you don't think you can fight it, then yeah, obviously you're just gonna probably put a 279 here, maybe 2, and then rotate with double 260 out. Secure this side, and then you probably will end up re-pushing this side anyway. So because you can't push this ever unless the enemy team is stupid, basically. If they leave nothing here, you can push this, but yeah, most people will put a tank there at least. So pushing this guy is basically impossible. Yeah, that's kind of if they push 1-2. You might even boost over actually to castle with these BZs to secure it. If you're fast enough to not be punished from like this position, which you probably will be, you'll be punished here. But if you can win the castle, it's probably okay. If they push 9-0, personally, I would never just YOLO into their base. I think it's not worth splitting the map like this. I think it's very hard to break out of it. Your break will normally be a K line because this is really annoying to push because you can never cap because they have this ridge line. So I personally don't like pushing out 1-2 ever, really. I will always go back to 9-0 and try and secure that 9-0. So yeah, if you see their whole team coming like this, again, it's up to 260s. If for some reason they think they can just stay here, that's fine. The E5 will obviously come across to support them. You probably want like double 260 to go back as well with the triple BZ. I mean, probably all the BZs, yeah. And just, get ready to support if they do push straight. These TPs can obviously just come to here and also support it. These double T9s, one of them takes castle, the other one probably just comes behind them and starts getting the people that they send here. Yeah, this strat is a bit weaker to it because you don't have the guy here to constantly farm them, but I mean you will have these people aiming for this. Just it kind of depends on how well they push out this flank and deal with these double 260s. If they stop and just like hold here, I would then just take like tanks through, like using the buildings so you don't get spotted by an EBR. And then you just go up to here and you just go fight and try and take the 9-0 back. So I don't know, you'd probably go like 279 here, EBR if you can go to there to spot, this rotation. This 279 is also here to either spot this or he can spot this. He probably is spotting this because hopefully the CBR is seeing this rotation. So he can sit like here watching this angle. But the CBR will also see this hopefully. So he has time to run away and go back to F1. This 279, it's up to him really. If you want him to come K-line to repush the 9-0, you can. You can also just leave him somewhere like here, I guess. Yeah, and the simple is you're just going to retake this. You want to take this again. If they, like I think I've explained this previously, but if they leave anything here, you just do the like 3 tanks or how many of you want here. The rest pushing through. Probably for that, you probably want to bring out like double TP, so you have 2 on this flank, maybe just 3. And yeah, you just go push this. If they are here, you just fight them. You should have better position, so you should win. If they've ran fully and you haven't seen it, unlucky. But you just take the control back and then probably rotate back with like a few tanks to hold this flank, or probably to K line. And again, you just take this position, and you should be fine. Again, and that's just that's really it for Redshire. South, I think South is very easy to play. You should really be having 70 to 80% win rates from South. You just have so much more better positions. You have better positions to spot crosses. You are it's quite a hard camp to break if you just are just tired and you want to camp. Redshire South is just incredible, especially for the global map. If you take a Redshire province and you're always south base it when you're defending it, a very easy, end of the night game. You're just sitting on your ass and you're waiting for the enemy team to push. yeah, that's it. I will hopefully find some replays for you. Right, here is one replay from South. Sorry, I can't find any replays. I have not played Redshire in about probably a month now. Um, this was probably the last time I played Redshire. It definitely is. Again, most people don't pick this. I think this was the citadel of the enemy, so didn't obviously have a choice. So yeah, as you can see, we are opening castle. This is shark leading, I think. I think it is. But yeah, as you can see, we see them coming 9-0, and yeah, we have the choice of either pushing 1-2 or coming back. And yeah, we're a bit slow on probably rotating, but it's fine. We get castle control with our double 279, and we start then going back. As you can see, we have a guy here to spot them coming, and our 60p is now spotting this rock cross. Normally you would have, I mean, sometimes you would have the EBR here to spot this rotation. And yeah, like we see them rotating back. We then just decide, well, we'll just push out 9-0 because it should be weak and we should be able to do it. So yeah. Now just fast forward this a little bit. And their EBR tries to clear, but we have double 279 here that can shoot him, plus the EBR. So they can't really pressure that EBR away. So we spot everything. Yeah. It's pretty simple, I would say. Like we just spotted them on A line. So we know 9-0 is weak, so we just go push that flank. I mean, that guy just implodes trying to dump the EBR because we have double D79 and everything here aiming. So free kill, really. Yeah, we're just continuing to push 9-0 because it's the weak flank. We also know if they rotate. I guess we don't know now, but they're so slow in their 60 ps and scammed out of that shot, dude. I should have killed him. Rolls was 600. But yeah, they were too slow to rotate back, so they're pressured to, or they're forced to push Castle to try and catch something. But we ran away from Castle, so they never see us or catch us. And yeah, now they're just pushing into nothing, where they have lost 2 tanks on 9-0, probably a fourth with that E5 or third with that E5. They have not caught nothing in the castle and can no longer push because, well, like, look, like we have perfect positions. We have a 279 here, we have a 279 going all the way back to K line, so even if they push down to this guy would always live. And yeah, it's a pretty simple game of, yeah, they just rotated out from 9-0. We saw the rotations and we took advantage of it. Like, it's not really that difficult. I feel like anyone could have done this, really. With all the information we had. Like, it's quite hard to fuck this up, I would say. But yeah, now it's just clean up. Pretty simple clean up. So I'll just fast forward this. But yeah, I mean, I think I talked about this in the strats of if you rotate out of 9-0, you have to be very careful that the enemy team does not spot your rotates because it's quite easy to spot the rotates on this map. So you need to be very careful. Nice shot, Ian. So yeah, if you are north, normally you kind of have to commit to a 9-0 because yeah, rotating out is just bad. Yeah, on to the next replay. Right, next. Well, not next, but yeah. Another South replay. This is my strat that I showed you in the strat section, I guess, of just mostly going 9-0, but holding, well, basically a split with a decent amount going 9-0. The enemy team have taken a lot of 279s, which immediately tells me that they're going full castle. And yeah, as you can see, like I was just waiting, making sure that they were going castle. Spotted this. That's honestly enough info, especially with EBR seeing nothing. I'm just sending, what was it, 3? Yeah, I think 3. Immediately sending 1 to here, 2 to keep this control. These guys go straight back to this. I have a CS here, obviously, in this strat. I didn't show you. I had one in the strat I showed you, but I took a CS in this one just because it is nice to have info. As I showed, said in the strat, the position section. I think that's after this. So yeah, but this position is here to counter this, but it can be countered from K line. So you need to be very careful. Obviously, 60 shooting at it from range is not very nice. But if I had the Hori or E5, be very easy pen. That is why on the strat I showed you, I changed to E5s. Yes, they can be penned in their cupola when they get to close range, but by the time they're at close range, they should be damaged enough where it's fine, as well as if they want to push out 1-2, it's normally IS7s or 260s or something fast. And they won't have gun depression themselves. If they push 60 TPs, you will just do so much damage on them that they will not, well, they shouldn't make it to K1. So, yeah. So the E5 I think is perfectly fine. Re is also not debatable. I mean, it is debatable. Like, you could just bring another E5 if you wanted, but it is quite nice to have the Re that just kind of auto pens anything that is pushing 1-2. Obviously, it's not amazing at close range, but still gets the job done. Has enough gun depression to play on the ridge, where I am. But yeah, now I'm just rotating back to repush the castle because, as I said, this push is not working rarely ever. If you can push things on the outside and then catch him before he runs backwards, then it is maybe possible. Most people are putting 2 guys here so they can just make a shield here, and he will never kill 2 tanks by going across to here. So, yeah. Technically, what I should have done, these double TPs, I should have been a bit more patient with them and rotated long way with them, because here they do get spotted from C5 here, and they might be shot. So, something to think about. I'll just fast forward this because yeah, I think I also said this in the positions part, which should be after this. Yeah, people using this position angled up here can kind of spot this 1-2 push, and they have quite a nice position. But in reality, does it matter? I mean, like probably, but most enemy teams that are doing this camp will probably know that you're going to push 1-2 because it's really the only way to break it. I could have striked before I pushed in here to push the G79 off the angle, but I mean, again, it's like if you're gonna strike something, you're probably gonna push it afterwards, so it just gives the intel anyway. Yeah, but obviously now in close range, I strike them, so now they cannot leave. If they leave, I just shoot their side or ass, and now they just are forced to take 1,000 damage and strike. Another reason E5s are quite nice, if they do this 279 camp, you know, E5s will just pen them when they get to close range. So that's also quite nice. Yeah, everything is going quite well so far. They obviously try to repush 9-0 with 2 tanks, but I also have 2, so that's a stalemate. I mean, they have the CS, so it's 3, I guess, but I can send my EBR over there, so should be able to hold, especially if I get a tank back to H0. As you see there, I'm trying to ping someone to go 9-0, so we can just win that flank. I am being penned somehow in my Gabola, I guess, I don't know. It is a bit of a stalemate now, because, well, yeah, we're just kind of waiting for stuff to happen. My person on the K line doesn't run away far enough, so it gets caught, which is quite unfortunate. But yeah, now we're just HEing this 279 out, so we can just kill him before we push in, so he doesn't do any damage to us. Pushing under is risky. You might get repushed there, but if they do repush that, then we should be able to win castle. But yeah, as you can see, we're just grouping up to push the castle. You could say I probably put too much on the 4 line, possibly, but I think it was still fine. As you can see, I mean, the health difference is massive now. We just kind of caught these double 279s for kind of nothing, really, especially with strike. We got the 2 guys under, and now the game is basically won. Time is like a little bit of an issue. Like 4 minutes, need to be a bit speedy, but should be completely fine still. And yeah, like a pretty simple game. As you can see, these kind of castle camps, they shouldn't really work. And even in this one, like there was a few mistakes. On the 9-0 of not holding it, but yeah, I mean, if all your team is here and you lose this, you will probably lose the game. You just need to kind of delay on 9-0 long enough to where they all send too much to kill you, or it's just a stalemate. So you should win castle off positions eventually. But yeah, I mean, a pretty simple game. Obviously, I didn't do much myself. I just died slowly, but yeah, just a pretty simple game, I would say. Kind of showing you how to break the camps. I kind of wish I showed the team score because I was just interested on interested on how much the Hori did, but yeah, I mean, this is the event if you want to see it with comms. But yeah, a pretty simple event. Right, we will start from A1. This is just a position you're using to basically spot people here and this push coming, and then you're just trading off your health for if they push it out. Hopefully, you'll have some people here that shoots them a few times, and then you can either block this gap or fall back to maybe this rock to do some more shots. Up to you. Right, next is C3 or A3. Sorry. This is kind of used in, you can put like a Sturv or a Badger or a 60p, and you're just using this to basically shoot this entire outside. It's normally a position that you're rotating into. You're not normally putting something here at the beginning, but you know, if you see them coming and you can get a tank back to here to kind of farm this outside, it's pretty good to get it. So yeah. Right, next is B8. This is just visitors and used to kind of cover the 090 line. And then as well, when they do push 9-0 and they try and push this out, you can fall back all the way into here and you're basically unkillable unless they push like 3 guys to go kill you. And even then you trade off well because you have like 2 tanks here that can farm them the entire time. So that's a very annoying position. But you can also be double bushed here if you knock down the trees. Right, next is these trees. I think most people will know them from randoms, but you're normally putting an EBR here to spot the 9-0, and then he runs away, obviously. But yeah, you're just using this tree to basically spot this push, this push. Pretty simple. Right, next is the castle. We'll go F1. There is like a little bit of rubble here that you can use in 279. Sometimes you could use it maybe in like an IS4 maybe, but you're mostly just using this to kind of control this. If there's a guy here, just so you have a bit of crossfire as well. If they decide to push it in, they need to go kill this guy, and hopefully you're trading him off quite well. So yeah, also on this corner you can kind of just like spot a K line push, kind of. Obviously there's trees here, but you might be able to see it sometimes, and it also kind of, you know, it can support if you push K line or push 1-2 into K line, then this guy can provide a bit of support on anything that goes a bit too high or comes back. Right, next is this little, I don't know, gully, and then this little white peak here. So it's the F2, and you're just using this to basically spot the people on this, to shoot them, basically, so they cannot play here. Not really much. I mean, you can bring an EBR, knock down this tree here, and then sit in here with the EBR, which kind of spots this entire ridge for you. But I mean, I think there are better places for it. But I don't know. If you have nothing else to do in EBR and you can't find it anywhere else, then here is fine. This position does need to be careful because it can be shot from K1 into it, so it's not completely safe. Is this little dip here? You're using this to basically counter the outside here if you're pushing full 1-2. And he just kind of farms for this repush happening. And he's kind of just unkillable from anywhere unless you dump him. So it's a very nice position to have. Right, first we'll start with F1 again, but on this side, you're normally putting a 279 here, because it's kind of like the best, because it's slightly angled up if it's here, against like 60p's or whatever, but you can put like a 60p, I guess, if you want. But the 279 or whatever you have here goes here. As soon as you see them pushing 1-2, he falls back into this. There's a little hole here that you can use, and you're just very annoying to kill if they want to try and peek on you. Like these people will focus you, and you will die trying to do it. And he's above all these people on the K line now, so just very helpful. Right, next is K1. You're normally again using this in 279, but it could be a 60p as well, or an E5, or something with gun depression. But yeah, again, it's just meant to be a position of crossfire. You have to push into it, and you get volleyed from, like, hopefully this ridge line with 60p's going in for it. And yeah, they can't just ignore you because eventually you'll just come here and shoot them. So just a nice position again. Like they have to dump into you to kill you. So very nice. Right, next is a position to kind of counter people that play here. There's a little ridge line here that you can use to kind of counter the D1 or like people playing on the outside of the castle. You're normally doing this if you have 9-0 control. Really, this is kind of the only way you can do it because if they are here, they will shoot you in your back. So if you've cleared 9-0, but I don't know, the enemy team is setting up like quite defensively, like on like here and here, and have a guy on the castle, you can just send a guy like this to go here and kill them. If they're playing some like castle hold, then again, they'll probably have some people here or here, and you probably just go to this outside again, or maybe even here, and just start shooting the outside. So just a helpful position. Right, next is this L-shaped building here. You're using this in 279. Like it can be 60p, but 279 is just better here, because it can be angled up if anyone pushes the water, and yeah, it's quite short, the 279, so it can quite easily hide here. But this position is kind of just used to counter the position on outside. It's kind of meant for like if people are pushing 9-0 from north, like they normally do this, and they put guys here to kind of shoot this. So you have a guy here to then shoot them back, basically. That is not unpennable if they're here, but it's still a hard shot. Right, next is quite important position F0. Using this position to basically spot this rotation. Nothing really difficult about it, but yeah, you're just using it to spot the rotation, so now they're trapped on 9-0. This is like one of the positions that makes south just so much more powerful than north, because north just you can't trap any tanks from north, but from south you put a one guy here and now they cannot no longer leave 9-0 without being spotted, so just one of the best positions on the map. Yeah. Next is G5. You're kind of using this in EBR. It can be a heavy tank, but if you go here in a heavy tank, there are positions in the castle that can counter you, and here. So you normally bring in an EBR here that just is spotting the under push very early. So it's very nice. Next is the position behind it. This ridge line is used to basically shoot the people that go like on this ridge line and kind of spot a 9-0 push early. Again, like it can't really be countered. You can bring guys to here that can shoot it, but if he goes all the way back into the red line or far back enough, there he's out of range from everything basically, as you can hopefully see. Yeah, so you're in range like 560, so there. And you have to shoot through some houses or over some houses. It's not a hard or easy shot, and you have to be so close here that this guy will counter you, and the people here that will shoot you. So, yeah, enjoy doing that. Yeah, and like if they push 9-0, he has a little he has pretty annoying location to be. Like if it's a 60p, like good luck trying to kill 3,000 health as you're driving past. It's just a very annoying position to kill. Right, next is at the back, K0 or K9, whatever. This position is normally used in Sturv, Badger, a TD with good TPM, and you're just farming this. And it kind of forces them to either just ignore you or push up into you, or ignore you just by going here and leaving a guy here so you can't peek behind them, or they just try and kill you. Personally, I don't use it myself. I don't think it's that good. But it can definitely work. I just prefer to have another tank here that can move and not be stuck in one location. But if you're camping, I guess you can use it. But I mean, cringe that you're camping.